Genesis 25. This is the story of Isaac's children. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean from Padam Aram. Rebekah was the sister of Laban. Isaac pleaded with Jehovah to give Rebekah a child, for even after many years of marriage she had no children. Then at last she became pregnant, and it seemed as though children were fighting each other. Inside her. "I can't endure this," she exclaimed. So she asked the Lord about it, and he told her, "The sons in your womb shall become two rival nations. One will be stronger than the other, and the other shall be a servant of the younger." And sure enough, she had twins. The first was born so covered with reddish hair that one would think he was wearing a fur coat, so they called him Esau. The other twin was born with his hand on Esau's heel, so they called him Jacob, meaning grabber. Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. As the boys grew, Esau became a skillful hunter, while Jacob was a quiet sort who liked to stay at home. Isaac's favorite was Esau because of the venison he brought home, and Rebekah's favorite was Jacob. One day Jacob was cooking stew when Esau arrived home, exhausted from the hunt. Esau: "Boy, I am starved. Give me a bite of that red stuff there." And from this came his name Edom, which means red stuff. Jacob: "All right, trade me your birthright for it." Esau: "When a man is dying of starvation, what good is his birthright?" Jacob: "Well then, vow to God that it is mine." And Esau vowed, thereby selling all his eldest son rights to his younger brother. Then Jacob gave Esau bread, peas, and stew. So he ate and drank and went on about his business, indifferent to the loss of the rights he had thrown away. Genesis 26. Now a severe famine overshadowed the land, as had happened before, in Abraham's time. And so Isaac moved to the city of Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, lived. Jehovah appeared to him there and told him, "Don't go to Egypt. Do as I say and stay here in this land. If you do, I will be with you and bless you, and I will give you all this land to you and your descendants, just as I promised Abraham, your father. And I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars, and I will give them all of these lands, and they shall be a blessing to all of the nations of the earth. I will do this because Abraham obeyed my commandments and laws." So Isaac stayed in Gerar. And when the men there asked him about Rebekah, he said, "She is my sister." For he feared for his life if he told them she was his wife. He was afraid they would kill him to get her, for she was very attractive. But sometime later, King Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out of a window and saw Isaac and Rebekah making love. Abimelech called for Isaac and exclaimed, "She is your wife. Why did you say she was your sister?" "Because I was afraid I would be murdered," Isaac replied. "I thought someone would kill me to get her from me." "How could you treat us this way?" Abimelech exclaimed. "Someone might carelessly have raped her, and we would be doomed." Then Abimelech made a public proclamation: "Anyone harming this man or his wife shall die." That year, Isaac's crops were tremendous, 100 times the grain he sowed, for Jehovah blessed him. He was soon a man of great wealth and became richer and richer. He had large flocks of sheep and goats, great herds of cattle, and many servants. And the Philistines became jealous of him, so they filled up his wells with earth, all those dug by the servants of his father Abraham. And King Abimelech asked Isaac to leave the country. "Go somewhere else," he said, "for you have become too rich and powerful for us." So Isaac moved to Gerar Valley and lived there instead. And Isaac redug the wells of his father Abraham, the ones the Philistines had filled after his father's death, and gave them the same names they had before, when his father had named them. His shepherds also dug a new well in Gerar Valley and found a gushing underground spring. Then the local shepherds came and claimed it. "This is our land and our well," they said, and argued over it with Isaac's herdsmen. So he named the well of Argument. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a fight over it. So he called it the Well of Anger. Abandoning that one, he dug again, and the local residents finally left him alone. So he called it the Well of Room Enough for Us at Last. "For now at last," he said, "the Lord has made room for us, and we shall thrive." Then he went to Beersheba. Jehovah appeared to him on the night of his arrival. "I am the God of Abraham your father," he said. "Fear not, for I am with you and will bless you, and will give you so many descendants that they will become a great nation, because of my promise to Abraham, who obeyed me." Then Isaac built an altar and worshipped Jehovah, and he settled there, and his servants dug a well. One day Isaac had visitors from Gerar. King Abimelech arrived with his advisor, Ahuzzath, and also Phicol, his army commander. "Why have you come?" Isaac asked them. "This is obviously no friendly visit, since you kicked me out in a most uncivil way." "Well," they said, "we can plainly see that Jehovah is blessing you. We've decided to ask for a treaty between us. Promise that you will not harm us, just as we have not harmed you, and in fact have done only good to you, and have sent you away in peace. We bless you in the name of the Lord." So Isaac prepared a great feast for them, and they ate and drank in preparation for the treaty ceremonies. In the morning, as soon as they were up, they each took solemn oaths to seal a non-aggression pact. Then Isaac sent them happily home again. That very same day, Isaac's servants came to tell him, "We have found water," in the well they had been digging. So he named the well of the Oath, and the city that grew up there was named Oath, and is called that to this day. Genesis 27. One day in Isaac's old age, when he was almost blind, he called for Uzziah, his oldest son. "Isaac, my son?" Uzziah, "Yes, father." Isaac, "I am an old man now, and expect every day to be my last. Take your bow and arrows out into the field and get me some venison, and prepare it just the way I like it, savory and good, and bring it here for me to eat, and I will give you the blessings that belong to you, my firstborn son, before I die." But Rebekah overheard the conversation. So when Esau left for the field to hunt for the venison, she called her son, Jacob, and told him what his father had said to his brother. "Rebekah, now do exactly what I tell you. Go out to the flocks and bring me 2 young goats, and I'll prepare your father's favorite dish from them. Then take it to your father. After he has enjoyed it, he will bless you before his death instead of Uzziah." Jacob, "But mother, he won't be fooled that easily. Think how hairy Uzziah is, and how smooth my skin is. What if my father feels me? He'll think I'm making a fool of him, and curse me instead of blessing me." Rebekah, "Let this curse be on me, dear son. Just do what I tell you. Go out and get the goats." So Jacob followed his mother's instructions, bringing the dressed kits, which she prepared in his father's favorite way. Then she took Uzziah's best clothes, they were there in the house, and instructed Jacob to put them on. And she made him a pair of gloves from the hairy skin of the young goats, and fastened a strip of the hide around his neck. Then she gave him the meat, with its rich aroma and fresh baked bread. Jacob carried the platter of food into the room where his father was lying. "Father?" "Yes, who is it, my son, Uzziah or Jacob?" We're going to leave it there.